Improvisation Center is back again with the FMT once again. As you've already seen in the last video, we actually got this thing running. There's a few little things that we have to address, and if you haven't noticed, valve covers are one of those things. And reason being, these cork gaskets suck. They're a pain in the ass. You end up usually having to do something such as gluing them on, letting them sit, and then putting more gasket maker all over it so everything will seal like it's supposed to. So that's one of the things we got to do first. We need to be able to keep this thing from puking oil all over the place while running so we don't have a potential fire hazard. The next thing is choke cable, because this carburetor does not have an electric choke, much less it being fuel injected or anything of that nature. This choke needs to be able to be controlled in order for me to be able to start the thing up and tweak it to get it to where it'll idle and all, especially right now when we got a whole bunch of variables that we haven't yet found that would explain why this engine is not running like a Singer sewing machine. So right now that's going to be the first couple of things we address: valve covers and a choke cable. Once we get those on and start this thing up again and get to some at least reasonably happy medium where this thing will idle on its own without any outside intervention, we can go into further fine tuning. So I'm going to get started with that and put the valve covers on first. Cable right here. Gonna have to route this thing through the firewall. Have to find a suitable spot. Then put these little brackets, all this little crap on the carburetor some kind of way. So we can get it hooked up. Well, have to find a spot to put our cable through. Hopefully I don't have to drill a hole. Stand by. The most suitable spot that I found to set up our choke cable is through the hole where the steering column is routed through. Especially since this is a temporary setup, I'm not going to go through the hassle of drilling holes in the firewall. The only holes that I'm going to be placing are a couple of holes underneath the plastic panel to hold the bracket that holds the choke cable up. It'll be kind of out of the way enough that it's not going to be noticeable. So go ahead, get the choke cable hooked up on the inside, route it through the firewall, and we're going to move on to the outside. side, round to the carburetor, and right here is the end. Took one of the bolts off of the intake and took this little bracket here that'll be holding the cable in place. The choke lever has a little fitting on there for the little metal wire part to hold it in place as well. So now, just put the shit together. The choke is closed. Choke is open. All right. Our choke cable is now done. Now, before I go ahead and try to start up again, I'm going to go over a few little things on here. I'm going to look for any kind of spots that might be air leaks that are contributing to our poor running condition. Double check our firing order once more. Then we're going to see if we could make some noise once again. Alright, got everything set up where I need it to be. Choke works just fine. Made sure of any little air lines or ports on the intake that might have been unplugged. There was only one that had some tape on there. I capped it off. Did one more tweak on the adjustment screws on the carburetor to 2 full turns and hooked our battery charger up. So now let's see what happens. Start it up again. Made a couple little tweaks. Had to put some oil in the power steering pump. Got the power steering working like it's supposed to. I'm going to go ahead and try it again. why it doesn't want to really stay running with an open choke. I can only partially open it. But we are running so far. I'm going to see if this thing goes into gear like it needs to. Right now the thing's actually running on more or less probably 90% open choke so far. So go ahead and put it forward, first gear, and reverse. quite yet. I'm sure all the backfire and bucket is going to be on some more timing much it for now. Until the next time, same old deal. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good shit. See more of this fuckery right here. So,